112 operator. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Manage emergency services in any city in the world. Take calls and dispatch rescue forces. Handle difficult situations, now depending on weather and traffic. Help citizens through cataclysms and natural disasters, becoming a better emergency number operator every day.
I know what you're thinking. I've already reviewed this. Nope, that was 911 Operator that I reviewed, and that was a couple of years ago. This is a brand new game, comes out on Tuesday. I got a press key, so I was quite lucky, and I'm going to give my review. I've played it for 16 hours, and I'm halfway through the campaign, but I've mainly been playing free play mode. First of all, let's look at the graphics. Well, it is what it is at the end of the day. There's a few graphical options where you can change things around. There's quite a few gameplay options, so you can customize the game a little bit. There's, I think, 4 difficulty settings, and you can also tweak what kind of calls you get and how often you get them and how severe they are. So anyway, what do? Well, you are the person who's on the other end of the phone when someone dials the emergency services. I'm not sure what 112 is. I guess it's an emergency service number in America. I thought it was 911. Maybe it's this 2. I don't know. But this number, people ring it when their lives are in danger. And you control the fire service, the ambulance service, and the police force. And you have to deploy all their assets as you see fit across the map that you own, and that map gets bigger and bigger as you progress through the game, whether you're playing campaign or free play mode. Now, each emergency service has a lot of different assets as well. You have motorcycles, helicopters, standard ambulance, you've got quick response ambulance, which is smaller. You have big fire trucks, small fire trucks, technical fire trucks, which are used to help people get out of car wrecks and things like that. You have unmarked police, you have marked police, you have SWAT vans, ordinary riot vans, you have horses, dogs, bomb disposal, you have all kinds of stuff. And inside every vehicle you have the men and women who are driving and shooting and putting their lives at risk, and you can customize them as well with different sets of gear for different purposes as well, which is essential. It keeps them alive as well. It's not as authentic and as realistic as I had hoped, especially the police. For example, you cannot harass people over sensitive tweets they make on Twitter. Sorry. Never mind that, I'll tell you what you can do. You start off with one district in your area, and you can put any area where you live and it will find the exact map where you live. It's insane. It's insane. I played my area where I live in Durham, northeast England, and it was so good because the roads are actually the same and so are the streets. And it's like they'll say, oh yeah, we've got this going on Chester Road. I know exactly where that is. It's just crazy. And you deploy your units as you see fit, so you want to spread them out so you've got every area covered. You'll have technical fire service, you'll have firefighters, you'll have ambulance services, you'll have police vans, police motorbikes, police pursuit vehicles, and you spread them around and then you hit start. And then it starts, guys. You will have incidences coming in left, right and centre, and they will be in the form of little icons on the map. White is for ambulance, red for fire, blue is for police. But each incident is different. For example, if there's a blue police symbol with handcuffs on, that means you're going to have to send somebody who has space in their vehicle because there's going to be arrests. And then people that are arrested get taken back to police stations. Now you can see if there's any room in the vehicle by the squares above the vehicles. An empty square means there's a spare seat. So for example, if you were taking an ambulance to an incident where there's been a multiple casualties, 2 spaces in one ambulance is probably not going to cut it. You might have to send 2 ambulances, and it's pointless sending a motorcycle because they don't have room for anybody. And that's the same for the police as well, so you have to be careful. But you do have police vans that can hold 4 criminals, so if there's a gang fight, get them vans there. Now, while I'm talking about the individual icons on the map and the vehicles, you can change the name of each vehicle when you purchase them, because you buy new vehicles and new equipment at the end of each round if you've made enough money. And it's cool that you can rename them, but it's kind of pointless because when you're on the actual map in the game, you can't see any of the names unless you open up this sidebar in the UI and then you click around looking for the unit, which I think shit. I mean, I made a van and I called it the SWAT van, and it was full of machine-gunned officers in there. Not officers that have been machine-gunned, officers carrying machine guns, and it's called SWAT. So I know that I want to deploy them when there's a gangland war, a drug baron that we've found his hideout. But when I look on the map, I can't see it. It's like, which one of the vans? I've got 5 vans. One of these is SWAT. Which one is it? So you have to open the left-hand UI, click on each van until it highlights the SWAT one, or you can click on the SWAT van in the UI and it'll go to the one on the map. But why can't you just have SWAT wrote above the van? Why can't you just have the names that you create over each? That would be so much better. Needs doing. Anyway, as you go around solving crimes and putting out fires and taking people to hospital, your people will get experience, and the more experience they get, the faster they will solve things. The better the equipment they have, the faster they'll solve things. And in the police, the better the equipment, the longer they'll stay alive. And it does get very, very immersive, because as all these incidences start piling in and you're sending your assets all over the map, you'll then get a live phone call.
112, what's your emergency?
Hello, we need a doctor. One of the kids might have a concussion.
What happened?
Well, the kids were warming up. One got hit in the head. She ran into a door frame.
And you take a call and you don't know what that's going to be. It could be any service and it could be any situation. You might be required on the phone to actually give them first aid. You might have to talk them out of suicide. There's a lot of stuff going down here. You may also have a kidnapping situation, but the person on the phone is pretending that you're somebody else, and they then say that they're being kidnapped because the kidnapper's listening. And so it's all in code, and you've got to kind of work out whether they're being kidnapped or not. It's so much fun. It's so immersive. And it's really cool because you get a search grid, and the kidnapped person will be in that search grid somewhere, and the more information you can get out of them, the smaller that search grid becomes. You then send assets to search around there for them, and then you'll eventually find them, and it's a good feeling when you save somebody from a kidnapping or things like that. So it's a very immersive game, this, and it's very fun as well. I've had a blast playing it.
Stay in the toilet. Try to hear the men if they're talking. They might say where they're heading.
I can't really hear them. The engine's too loud.
Just stay calm. The police are going to find you. Make sure your phone is on silent and call again if something happens.
Okay, make it quick, please.
The problem is I've never seen any of the big new fires that they talk about. I played it 16 hours, halfway through the campaign. I don't know what actually went wrong with mine, but I never got to any of the really big fires. I did have some pretty big incidents. I had this plane doing an emergency landing. I got a really cool little cutscene of this plane flying past the tower, engines on fire, and that took a shit load of my units out. Didn't wipe them out. I had to deploy a lot of different units to the airport for that to help, which left me map vulnerable, and there was still incidences coming in on me map as well. So it is tense. And one of the things I really like about this game is you can feel totally in control of everything. And then 5 seconds later, you're in full-blown panic as all hell breaks loose. It's just one of them games. You can get bogged down in one incident as well. For example, somebody phones up and just says, there's some people fighting outside. So you send a unit, and they just get shot. It was an ambush, and they're just getting shot to shit. They're shouting, officer down. So you send in a few more units. You send ambulances. Some of them get wiped out, and they're saying more help's needed, more help. So you send more units there. And before you know it, one incident on the map's got like 6 or 7 units tied up on it. It's just insane. And all the time you're kind of bogged down with that. There's still other things going on the map that require your assistance. And if you don't meet one of the actual needs on the map, for example, if there's some call comes in and it just goes unanswered, you will lose reputation points. And reputation points are essential, because the more reputation points you earn, the more crimes that you solve, the more fires you put out, the more people you save, the more money you'll get for the next round to buy better gear. And it always has you kind of wanting. I mean, there wouldn't be any point in the game if it didn't. So it puts you on your toes, and the secret is to deploy the right assets to the right job and read each job as well. I mean, sometimes you'll get an incident just popping up and another one popping up, then another popping up, and you can just get used to saying, oh yeah, red fire, oh white ambulance, yeah, blue police, and just start sending them all over without reading what they are. But if you send a firefighter to a cat stuck up a tree, well, you're going to get penalised for that, because that's clearly not an emergency. So you have to kind of look at what's going on as well. And also as well, another good, I don't want to spoil it, but sometimes when you're listening to a call, like on the live line that comes in, you just smell a rat. You just think, hang on, there's something else going down here, and they might be wanting an ambulance, but send the police as well sometimes. Because if you think foul play's gone on, and it can do, you'll get extra points for that, because you'll get arrests. And I have to say, the voiceovers are really, really good in this game. Really, really good. Some of them are a bit edgy, I think, and I think the devs have done a great job. because they have stereotyped a few people. I'm not going to mention it. Some of them are hilarious. I'll just say that. And I've had a really good time playing the game. It's really, really good fun. It's about £20, I think. I haven't got the exact price, but I think they said $25, which will be £20 with a 15% discount on launch. So it's worth a buy. It's a fun game. It's not an amazing game by any means, but it's certainly not shit. It's certainly worth buying, certainly worth playing, and I've had a blast playing it. So there you go, guys. That's 112 Operator. Puts you in the control room. And there's not really many games like this, and I actually really enjoy it. So there you go.
Sir, what's going on?
She's strangled. I strangled her.
You did what?
Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Sir, where are you?
I'm at... Oh, you slut! She's deceiving me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Sir, where are you?
No word.